Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc. Hi everybody and welcome to today's episode. I don't know why my eyes bugged out for that. Today's episode. Not yesterday's, today's. I am out and I'm on the road and I'm on my way to go to a house. I've been invited to the estate of a formerly hoarded house. Now, in this case, they've already started to clean out, so unfortunately it's not going to be a clean out series for me, but they wanted me to have a look around and see if there's anything worthwhile buying. Now, the sad thing is they've asked me not to show the interior of the home on camera, but I am going to show you whatever I find. So if I find some stuff to buy, I will do that. The other thing I'm doing is I'm picking up a bumper today for the 1990 300ZX Nissan Twin Turbo that Steven and I were working on together. My friend Scott over at Cold War Motors. If you've not checked out Cold War Motors, you should go check out that YouTube channel. It's really cool. Scott is a great guy, and he basically is taking on fixing the front bumper for us for next to nothing, just the cost of materials. Probably, I told him it's one of the nicest things anybody's done for me in a really long time. And just a very, very nice man. So we're going to pick that bumper up and see how it looks, and hopefully get that installed on the car in the video today. But first, I'm going to go dig through a house and see if I can find anything cool. So let's go. All right, I am back. And, well, I don't have much here. It's actually mostly in the back seat. I didn't buy a whole pile of stuff. Whew. Almost lost a ship lamp out the back. I did buy a few kitschy little things, but I also bought a box that was sitting on the counter that looked like it was sort of costume jewelry and stuff, so we'll go through that in a minute. The first thing I need to get out of here, though, before I show you the treasures and stuff that I picked up, is I've got to get this bumper out. Now, this bumper is from a 1990 Nissan 300ZX. I think I established that earlier, but let me show you the car, because I don't think I've really showed you guys too much of what's been happening in the garage as of late. It is for this car, you know, the one that doesn't have a bumper on it. And we picked this up as a project for Steven and I to work on. And the bumper was off and had not been painted. The rest of the car had been painted. Actually, I'm going to lower the car down a little bit so you can have a better look. There, that's better. So the bumper was the one thing, well, one of the things that was off the car. So we weren't really able to get it fully assembled yet. So I'm gonna have to take this nose panel off because a couple of the bumper pieces actually bolt on underneath that. And I'm hoping in our bucket of bolts and knickknacks that all the missing hardware will be here for this vehicle underneath. Now, it was originally a red vehicle, as it is again, as you can see. Somebody had painted it white at some point. Actually, it would have been terrible. It was white with purple accents, and then this guy painted it back to red. White and purple would have been so nasty. Maybe at the time in the early 90s if it was a show car or something, but not super appealing now. I'm gonna lower it down a bit more, pull the nose panel off and see if we can fit that bumper on there. It's gonna be a little bit of work to get it on. It's not an easy thing to line up or do, but here's hoping I can get it accomplished. There, bumper is on. And Scott, if you're watching, which I doubt whether you are, but Scott did a great job. Match is perfect. Luckily, we had extra paint left over from when the fellow painted the car, so it is a perfect match. And that is one complete roadworthy 300ZX Twin Turbo. Now I've got to get on and empty out that vehicle. All right, so what came out of the vehicle? Well, we're gonna head inside and I'll show you. Okay, before I go through the box of stuff and the bucket of stuff, this was in the basement of the house that I went to. It is a 1960s, 70s era, likely 70s, sort of in that mid-century modern sort of time frame, but it is a Moon shape, spun. It's like fiberglass. It's a lamp, like a moon lamp, as well as a funky ashtray. It's actually all there. And in fact, it came with this bonus ship lamp that was kind of in the mix there too. But it's horribly dusty. And you can see that. This has been in the basement down there for probably about 40 years. So I'm going to give it a rinse off because I don't want to bring that in the house. It's just going to, you know, spread dust everywhere. So we're going to give that a little bit of a wash down before it comes in. But that was just too cool and too weird to not pick up and bring back, don't you think? Somebody's going to like it. It's a magazine rack. It's a lamp. It's an ashtray. A lot of things that could be flammable all in the same area, but it's really cool. Now that I've got this cleaned up, let's see if it works. There's got to be a switch on here somewhere. Yeah, right there. Yeah, look at that. It works. I mean, whoever ordered that out of the Sears catalog, wherever they found it, that was something a little different. Not your everyday person would have bought something like this. Magazine rack, lamp, ashtray, 1970s wild fiberglass sort of thing. Cool. It's different. People like different stuff. Anyway, I'll leave that on, I guess, for a bit, and we'll go sort through some jewelry. Couple things that I found in the basement of that house that I thought were kind of neat. This is it's a coffee pot for your car. You know, nothing like driving down the back country lanes and having a hot scalding coffee hovering above your lap. But that's just what this is. It's a coffee pot that attaches to your dashboard, plugs into your lighter, and you can have a hot pot of coffee that you freshly brewed anywhere you go. The reason I picked this up is I thought that'd be a fun accessory for our Volkswagen Westphalia that we have up in the front. It would just really add to it, and it's of the same era too. And the brand, well, it's Super Brand, so you know it has to be good. Actually, let's take it out of the box and have a look at it. And there it is in all its 1970s glory. And it doesn't look to me like it's ever been used. Still has the original instructions with it, the operating instructions, the box. I guess that was probably like maybe a Christmas present that never got put into action. So we'll see if we can find a home for it. You know, I don't know exactly how that's supposed to mount. Oh, it's got a little clip here. I guess it clips on. We'll have to do a little figuring out on how this is supposed to go onto the dash itself. I can see it's got the clip there, but anyway, fun, weird automotive accessory. And they used to put all sorts of stuff in cars. You could get a record player, you could get coffee pots, flower vases, all sorts of stuff that you could put and adorn your dashboards with. Okay, we'll set that aside. This little wooden box, I did actually open this up, so I know what this is, but any guesses at home? What you think might be in this little wooden crate? It's got a handle on the top. It's purpose built. That's because it is telegraph. You do your Morse code right there. Still has the original cardboard encased Energizer battery back there, or Eveready battery, I should say. But yeah, this is a little portable teletype for a telegraph in a nice little wooden box. Kind of a cool set. I don't know if that would have been military or what at the point that you need a portable one, but it could have been for any reason, really. I just thought it was too cool to pass up. Did not want to leave that behind because that's a cool, neat little piece of history. And of course, if you watch my channel, you know that I do collect old toy cars, specifically old Hot Wheels. So we're gonna dig through this and see what there is. That one's missing a bit. I can tell that some of these are from the 1980s and they're very well worn. Actually, this style of Bronco with that sunset sort of pattern, I've always liked that on the real Broncos. Probably because I had that toy as a kid. Firebird. So some of this stuff is a little bit newer. That's Corgi. That's a little bit older. And what I'm hoping for is there's going to be just a couple. Well, here's one. That's a red line Hot Wheel. You can see by the little red stripe on the wheels that makes it sort of early 70s with this enamel paint job on it. So with the little red stripe, that actually adds a lot of value, you know, going from being worth a few bucks to maybe 20 bucks or so. So if there's a few more of that inside of this bucket, a few more of those,
we may do okay. But otherwise, just looks like a bunch of generic sort of 80s Hot Wheels and stuff. I'll empty it out and I'll have a look. Okay, well, there's definitely a lot of older Hot Wheels in here. Now the 1980s stuff is even getting to be collectible. So finding the little Mustang Cobra or this 442, the Neat Streeter, those are in relatively decent condition. Some, though, looks like might have been their favorites. That would have been a decent collectible Hot Wheel if it was in better shape. As with this, not a Hot Wheel, but a Corgi, that's the James Bond Lotus Roger Moore car, but somebody's actually filed off or cut off the little fins that were once on it to make it look more like a Lotus. That's where the rockets would have shot out the back. This is the car that goes underwater in the movie. I actually don't have a small one like this in my collection. I collect movie cars, and that one's just too rough for me to hang on to myself. If you ever see a car like this, which is Ertl, a lot of times these are associated with TV shows, so you can look it up and see whether it was, like Knight Rider, Riptide, or Fall Guy, or whatever it was. They specialize in sort of movie and TV cars, and they did all the Dukes of Hazzard cars. So that probably is going to be associated with like a 1980s TV show, that Stingray. But I'm going to set this stuff all back aside because I do have to go through that box of jewelry and see what's in there. Hopefully a few good finds. Now, I bought this, but that's empty as it turned out, but I bought this cardboard box full of stuff that was sitting by the dressers that were clearing it out because it looked to me like they were sort of just dumping everything that came from the jewelry cabinets and stuff inside of here, and all it takes is a couple really good finds. I also found these books, which I thought were neat. That is a 1938 motor vehicle driver's manual, as well as a 1938 Ford V8 car and truck book. So somebody obviously had an old Ford and they had their driver's manual and their repair manual, probably to keep inside the glove box in case they ever needed to do anything. When your average person would just go work on their own car. Now it's like you have to be a trained technician with scanning tools and stuff to do it. There's an old English penny. Let's see. Watches. It's Quartz watch. Always good to check the brand names of these because you never know. Those are all sort of just your generic sort of watches. Earrings, still brand new in the packaging. Doesn't look like they got opened. Little floral necklace there. Some silver hoops. Now, when I go through lots like this, what you have to do is actually try and find all the matching pieces and put them together. Cross. It looks to be silver. There's a couple of them. A few things you have to do. First, you have to match everything up and find out, where its mate is. In these cases where it's brand new, obviously it's still together. But then you also have to look for gold marks, silver marks, because that's going to, obviously increase the value. Little stone sort of beaded bracelet. And you can see that was not an expensive piece. It sold for $7 brand new. But, we might just end up putting a bunch of the sort of regular costume jewelry into a jewelry box and selling it as it is. But again, you're playing the odds when you're buying a lump sum lot of jewelry like that. That, I think, is maybe a cape clasp. You put this on either side and it holds your cape shut for a lady who's wearing a cape. I guess you could use it for all sorts of things. It has these little clamps on it and the chain. Kind of interesting. We'll keep looking. You've got another little tray here. From the side profile, that actually looks very much like a Rolex, and that's because that's what they're emulating with this. It's actually a Timex, but they've got the engine turn bezel. Very much an oyster-looking sort of case and bracelet. So that would be Timex's version of like a lady's Rolex Oyster with date. Not an expensive watch, but, nice wearable piece. We're finding enough of these watches, I could probably put a lot of watches together. There's a little stick pin. Butterfly brooch. There's a lot of individual pieces here. And something like that might actually be gold. It's gonna have a poke through here. Snowman. So you can let it snow. Even makeup. Avon True Color eyebrow gel. Don't think we'll be hanging on to that. But there are a few little brooches in here and stuff, so lots of earrings, and these are either silver or silver plated, so we'll look for a silver mark on those. You can see that they're kind of tarnishing a little bit. Little golden dachshund maybe. Little pin. Okay. This looks like a slightly older case, and what's inside? Okay, we've got like a little Art Deco pendant. Actually, it might be for a pocket watch. That looks like it would attach to like your watch, and maybe it's a money clip or something. Interesting. But that is definitely an older piece. And then we've got a Zippo, and yeah, it is Zippo brand. And that would probably date to the 1950s or so. There are many Zippo collectors out there. That's kind of like the narrow, the mid-size. That's the size they used to make most Zippo lighters, and they went a little bit wider, a little stockier. And there is a difference, which I can't recall right now offhand. Maybe somebody watching at home remembers. If the hinges are inside the case or outside, makes it worth a little bit more money. I should probably do my research on that, aka Google it, and see if I can jog my memory as to which is the better one. But I do know that there are lots of collectors for Zippos, and specifically if you find them with enameling or like a business name on them, those are definitely collectible as well. So pretty neat stuff. Well, I pulled out of the box this other box. It's nicely inlaid. You can see this little bit of abalone shell. It's kind of like a nice sort of pattern, almost seems Middle Eastern in design, but really kind of a pretty little wooden box, probably a keepsake piece from a holiday or a trip somewhere. But you know, it's a lot of work that goes into doing that inlay, even on a small box like this. And when you open it up, inside it's got a little bit of lining, but there's two more old Zippo lighters. And this has a little silver and turquoise, so it could be, you know, southwestern US, could be Mexico, where that style is popular, so that western silver and turquoise, but they are authentic Zippos. Actually, if you look at this one, it says it was made in Niagara Falls, so it's sort of a American theme lighter, North American Indian or indigenous southwestern sort of theme with the silver and the turquoise. However, the lighter was made in Canada. This one, made in USA, Bradford, PA. Some interesting sort of tooling on it. So definitely finding a few interesting old lighters here. Little porcelain heart-shaped box. Probably was like a Mother's Day. It has a spot on the bottom for engraving. That's an engraving panel there. So this was probably something you get at like a gift shop, and you could say like, you know, Happy Mother's Day, or on our anniversary or something like that. And it's for keeping, I think, probably like maybe a little powder, or you could put your rings in there. Maybe it's like a little ring box, something like that. Anyway, it is a interesting little piece. It's like a 1970s sort of lucite plastic ring. Another little decorative watch. When I say decorative, I mean it's not overly collectible. Here we have, what's this? 14 karat gold. So a solid gold Caterpillar tractor emblem. I mean, it's solid gold, so there's that. You know, that's a good chunk of 14 karat gold. That's probably like, you know, $90 or $100 just in gold value. But if you're somebody who's really into Caterpillar stuff, that might be a neat little item to add to your collection. Anything with a brand name or logo can add to the value quite a bit. We got some more of these little silver buckles. Couple more watches. Vinci. It's not Gucci. It's his cousin Vinci. Sure, anybody can afford a Gucci, but who's got a Vinci watch? Okay, just like some little chains and stuff in here. All right, we'll keep searching. I mean, as you can see going through, there's still a lot to look through in here. On the top, there was this too, which is actually, I don't know if you can see from the picture there, but that's an old Ringer washing machine. This is your oiler bottle that would have come with the washing machine. When it's in use, you have it as it is. And this little cap is welded or soldered onto the side, and that turns into a lid when it's not in use. So handy little thing to have if you have a vacuum electric washing machine. But this type of tin goes back to, I'd say, like the 1930s or so, the way that can's constructed. So probably worth about, $40 or something like that. Not too bad. Oh, I see something right here. And it's the 1967 Centennial coin set, which actually is silver dollar, silver quarter, silver dime. And it's when Canada put animals on the front of all of their coins. I mean, we do that with our coins now, but at this time we didn't. So that's cool. And that's uncirculated. That's how they sold them, in a little plastic, and then it would come in a paper sleeve, which I don't see in there. But I do have the coins themselves. That's the important part. And here we have a sterling silver, so solid silver charm bracelet with a bunch of 925 silver charms on it. So you got a pineapple next to Santa Claus, next to a Centennial, Canadian. So that would date back to, probably some of this stuff is from the 1960s, because that's from 1967. Mother. So these are all silver. So we're going to set that aside. We'll have like our precious metals department. Where's that solid gold pin? We'll move that over there too, with the actual gold and actual silver stuff. And I'm just going to keep filtering through this. Actually, these buckles, note that. Actually, a lot of times these are silver. That was gold plated at one point. When you see these sort of buckles, you really have to look, because a lot of times that is actual silver. People pick these up on vacations in Mexico and the Southwest. There's another big buckle with the eagle on it. Made in the USA. Oh, and it looks like it was probably gold plated at one point. Not any longer. But that silver finish on there would probably shine up just fine if you want a big eagle belt buckle. What is this? Oh, Crown Royal belt buckle. So I'm guessing they probably had a special limited edition bottle of liquor, and you could get your Crown Royal belt buckle if you so wanted. Okay, finding a few things here. Okay, well, although most of the stuff that I've been finding so far has been costume jewelry, there's always at least a couple pieces of fine jewelry mixed in. Now I've noticed there's some little bits of tiger eye and stuff, and I saw this little ring. It has some tiger eye in the middle, but it's 10 karat solid gold. So there's a nice little gold ring mixed in the bottom. And we found some gold bracelets, some silver bracelets. So this little pile, I mean, for what I paid for everything, will start to pay us back the soonest. And then anything else that's in here, you can kind of piece out and not worry so much. There's also some odd 1970s kind of, owl art sort of pendants and stuff. I was missing. I think somebody stuck a googly eye on there. They did. I don't think that was meant to have the googly eye on it. I think somebody with a sense of humor stuck that on, so I might pop that off like that. There you go. That's more what it was supposed to look like. But just, the most random assortment of stuff. And then you've got coins and tokens and tie clips in the mix. And I'm separating out some of the tie clips and cufflinks, like from this holiday they obviously took to Bermuda. So there's a little set there, the tie clip and the Bermuda cufflinks, probably from the 50s or 60s. So sort of the guy stuff there. And that was a little bag of coins. So these are a little bit newer sort of collector quarters and stuff. But we'll put that in the coin and jewelry department. So we'll try and get this basically emptied out, and then I'll show you if we find anything a little bit more exceptional in the mix here as I sort through. Well, all of that searching yielded boxes full of new costume jewelry. We have the old Ford manuals, and gosh, the weird lamp over there, the bucket of Hot Wheels, the suitcases, which I picked up actually for myself because they look like 1960s Ferrari factory suitcases. They're not, but Ferrari cases that look nearly similar. They're $5,000. Those, I think I picked them up for like maybe $10 a case. So they'll give me a similar look in the back of the car and not cost me that much. As for the better stuff that came out of this lot, all of that searching and sifting of all those boxes came up with this. We have a number of solid gold rings, opals, tiger eye and diamonds and so forth that were mixed in and amongst all the sort of junk. There's sterling silver sets, another gold ring there, that's the tiger eye one. Little gold chains, sterling silver sets, and all of these are solid gold and some with diamonds, Caterpillar employee recognition pins. So, 5-year, 10-year, 20-year, 30-year. So they have little numbers on them, 10, 15, 25, and 20. So somebody at some point had worked for a very long time for Caterpillar and was awarded all these gold pins. Again, solid gold. So overall, we paid $600 for all this stuff, but I really bought it on a whim, hoping that I'd find a few gold things in here. And, we'll easily get our money back just out of a handful of the gold rings that we have in front of us. So overall, a pretty good day. And I've got lots of stuff I can sell now. So for me, I'm off to the auction. So I hope you enjoyed today's adventure. I'm going to be heading to the auction now to take all this stuff in so we can sell it. And then on to the next adventure. So thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you all soon. And happy hunting out there for those of you that are doing the same thing I'm doing and looking for treasures out in unusual places or in basements or barns or attics or wherever it might be. I hope you guys find some treasure along the way too. Have a wonderful day, guys. We'll see you all soon. And as always, bye for now. Bye, everybody.